I found my Uncle Charles lying on the cold bathroom floor, still wet, the steam from the shower fading into silence. His towel was still hanging. His heart had already stopped. He was 75, independent, sharp. He walked every morning, cooked for himself, and never missed a checkup. But that morning, one simple decision cost him everything. He took a shower, just like he always did. But he took it at the wrong time. We never thought a routine as innocent as showering could be dangerous, much less fatal. But the truth is, for seniors over 70, the time you step into that shower can mean the difference between life and death. The doctors told us later, his body was most vulnerable precisely when he turned on the water, and they showed us the research that still haunts me. He didn't slip. He didn't choke. His heart gave out, triggered by a storm of blood pressure, temperature shock, and timing that could have been avoided. What happened to my uncle could happen to anyone over 70 who doesn't know what I'm about to tell you. In the next few minutes, I'll reveal the most dangerous time of day for seniors to take showers and the small, life-saving changes you must make starting tomorrow morning. Because sometimes, the riskiest place in your home isn't the stairs, it's the shower. And the riskiest moment is when you think you're safest. Charles always liked to start his day early. He'd wake up around 5:30 a.m., make his coffee, and head straight to the shower. "It clears my head," he used to say. That quiet routine gave him a sense of control, until the morning it took everything from him. He collapsed in the shower at 6:08 a.m. By the time anyone found him, it was too late. We later learned that the timing of his shower wasn't just unlucky, it was lethal, and it's a risk that far too many seniors are taking every single day, without even realizing it. According to researchers at Harvard Medical School, the hours between 4 a.m. and 8 a.m. are the most dangerous time of day for anyone over 70 to engage in physically stressful activities, including showering. Why? 2 words: morning surge. Dr. Richard Thompson, a leading expert in geriatric cardiovascular health, explains that overnight, your blood pressure naturally drops as your body rests. But between 4 and 8 a.m., your system goes through a rapid, often chaotic spike in blood pressure and heart rate as it wakes up. This spike, combined with the hot water, steam, and sudden movements of a shower, creates a perfect storm. Your heart's under pressure, your balance is compromised, your body isn't ready. Take Doris Whitman, a 72-year-old retired teacher from Philadelphia. She never missed her 6 a.m. shower until the day she collapsed in the tub, fracturing her hip. Doctors told her family that the timing of her shower was likely the key factor. She had no prior history of falling, no heart issues, just the wrong routine at the wrong hour. So, what can you do? Move your shower to mid-morning, ideally between 10 a.m. and 12 p.m. That's when your body is most alert, your blood pressure is more stable, and your cognitive response is sharpest. And make the change today. Write it on a sticky note, put it on your mirror, tell your spouse, your parent, yourself. Because it might feel like just another morning, but between 4 and 8 a.m., you're not just waking up. You're walking a tightrope your body may not be able to balance. Ask yourself, is the comfort of an early shower worth the risk of never stepping out alive? Albert Chen had been taking hot showers every morning for as long as anyone could remember. At 83, the retired accountant still lived alone, handled his own shopping, and prided himself on keeping a routine. His daughter often joked, "Dad's shower is hotter than the tea he drinks." But one winter morning, that routine nearly ended his life. At 5:45 a.m., Albert stepped into the shower just like always. Within minutes, his heart began racing. He felt dizzy, then numb. His knees buckled. If he hadn't grabbed the sink on his way down, he might never have made it out. What happened? His cardiologist later explained. Albert's body couldn't handle the sudden temperature change. Why? Because after 70, the body's ability to regulate internal temperature drops significantly, and that effect is worst in the early morning hours. Dr. Amanda Chen, a specialist in geriatric thermophysiology, puts it simply. As we age, our bodies struggle to adapt quickly to heat. During the early morning hours, when core body temperature is at its lowest, a hot shower becomes not just uncomfortable, but dangerous. The cardiovascular system is shocked into overdrive. The hot water causes blood vessels to dilate too quickly. your heart has to pump harder. Blood rushes away from the brain. And in a vulnerable senior body, that's a recipe for fainting, or worse, sudden arrhythmia. Albert didn't know any of this. He thought hot showers helped his arthritis. He never realized they were straining his heart every single morning. So, what should you do? Lower your water temperature. Keep it between 95-100 degrees Celsius, 35 to 38 degrees. As warm, not hot. Install an anti-scald device on your shower head. These simple tools automatically regulate the water temperature to prevent spikes. They cost as little as $20, and they can save your life. And never ever step into a hot shower immediately after waking up, especially if your bathroom is cold and your body hasn't fully adjusted. Albert made these changes, and the dizzy spells stopped. His cardiologist even noted improvement in his heart rhythm. He told me, "I thought my shower was my comfort zone. Turns out it was my danger zone." So ask yourself, how hot is your shower? And what is it really doing to your heart? Because after 70, it's not about how clean you feel. It's about how safely you get out. Patricia Lane had always been diligent with her medication. At 76, she set reminders on her phone, lined up her pills the night before, and swallowed them with a glass of water the moment she woke up, usually around 6:30 a.m. Then she'd head straight to the shower, and that's when the dizziness began. At first, she thought she was just dehydrated. Then came the blurred vision, the sudden sense that the floor was tilting. One morning, she collapsed against the bathroom wall, barely able to call out for help. Her doctor quickly connected the dots. Patricia was unknowingly creating a double drop effect. Dr. Michael Ramirez, director of geriatric cardiology at the Mayo Clinic, explains, many seniors take blood pressure medications like lisinopril or amlodipine first thing in the morning. These drugs reach peak effectiveness within 60 to 90 minutes. If you shower during that window, especially in a warm environment, you're compounding 2 blood pressure drops at once. In other words, Patricia's medication was already lowering her blood pressure. Her hot shower was lowering it further. The result? A dangerous reduction in blood flow to the brain in the exact moment she was standing on a slippery surface. The scariest part? Most seniors have no idea this is happening. Patricia's case is far from unique. Thousands of older adults take their medication, jump into the shower, and then wonder why they feel lightheaded or unsteady. So here's what you must do, starting today. Never shower within 2 hours of taking blood pressure medication. Call your doctor and ask if your medication schedule should be adjusted to fit your routine. Create a simple chart, 1 column for medication, 1 for daily activities. Keep them safely separated. Once Patricia began showering mid-morning, at least 3 hours after her pills, the dizziness vanished. She regained her confidence and no longer feared her own bathroom. She later told me, "I thought I was being responsible by taking my pills on time. I didn't realize I was creating a silent storm inside my body." So let me ask you, are you unknowingly syncing your shower and your meds into a perfect disaster? Could one adjustment today prevent a 911 call tomorrow? Because timing isn't just about routine, it's about survival. Gregory Marks always believed his home was safe. At 81, he'd lived in the same house for over 40 years. He knew every corner, every tile, every creaky floorboard, but none of that mattered the morning he fell. It was 5:45 a.m., still dark. He stepped into the bathroom, flipped on the dim overhead light, and didn't notice the thin layer of water on the floor. His foot slipped, his hip hit the tile. The pain was instant, so was the damage. Gregory fractured his pelvis. He never walked the same way again. When the doctors asked what happened, he said, "I didn't even see it, not until I was on the floor." The truth? It wasn't just a slip. It was biology. Studies from the National Institute on Aging reveal that seniors over 70 experience a 60% reduction in contrast sensitivity in dim lighting. That means puddles, shadows, even white tiles against white tubs can become nearly invisible, especially before sunrise. Dr. Sarah Johnson, a geriatric ophthalmologist, explains, most seniors don't realize how dramatically their night vision declines. The bathroom, already the most dangerous room in the house, becomes exponentially riskier in the early hours due to poor lighting and visual processing delays. And the worst part? Many elderly adults shower before daylight, relying on memory instead of clear vision. So, what should you do? Make visibility a priority. Here's your immediate checklist. Install motion-activated nightlights in the hallway and bathroom. Use bright, high-contrast non-slip mats. No more clear or beige ones that blend into the floor. Keep a handheld light or flashlight near your bed in case of power outages or low visibility. Consider color strips on shower edges to help define slippery areas in low light. Gregory later told his daughter, "I didn't fall because I was careless. I fell because I couldn't see what was right in front of me. The cost of a motion light is $15. The cost of a hip fracture, months of recovery, lost independence, sometimes even your life." So before you step into your bathroom tomorrow morning, ask yourself, can your eyes truly protect you in the dark? Or are you walking blind into the most dangerous room in your home? You can't fix aging eyesight, but you can light the path to safety. Leonard Davis had a simple morning ritual: wake up, brush his teeth, and step into a warm shower. At 77, he was proud of still living alone and doing things on his own. But every morning, like clockwork, he'd feel dizzy right around the time he was rinsing his hair. "I thought I was just getting older," he told his doctor, "but I didn't realize my body was warning me." One morning, that dizziness turned dangerous. Leonard fainted mid-shower. The fall left him with a deep gash across his forehead and a terrifying hour he couldn't remember. The reason? Dehydration. Dr. William Parker, a geriatric hydration researcher at Johns Hopkins, explains, "Most seniors wake up significantly dehydrated due to overnight fluid loss. Combine that with a hot shower, where blood rushes to the skin and away from the brain, and you create a massive drop in blood pressure. That's what leads to fainting. This condition is called orthostatic hypotension, and it becomes especially deadly when it happens in the shower. You're standing upright, surrounded by slippery surfaces, exposed to sudden heat. Your blood vessels can't compensate fast enough. And unlike fainting on a couch or in bed, you're surrounded by hard tile, glass, and water." Leonard had no idea his morning thirst was turning his shower into a trap. Once his doctor explained, he made one simple change. Every morning, before stepping into the bathroom, Leonard now drinks one full glass of water, at least 15 minutes before showering. He also keeps a refillable bottle near the sink to remind himself. The dizziness disappeared, so did his fear of the bathroom. So, here's what you need to do. Hydrate first thing in the morning, before any activity. Keep water within arm's reach of your bed and bathroom. Never enter a warm shower without first giving your body the fuel it needs to function. Leonard now tells everyone at his senior center, "It wasn't my heart, it wasn't the water, it was dehydration, and no one ever told me." So let me ask you, are you stepping into the shower before your body is ready? Or are you giving it the one thing it's desperately missing? A single glass of water won't just quench your thirst, it might save your life. Beatrice Nolan prided herself on being up before the sun. At 73, she liked the stillness of the early morning, her time to reflect, stretch, and take a shower before anyone else in the neighborhood stirred. But one quiet Tuesday, that routine nearly ended in tragedy. At 5:04 a.m., Beatrice stepped into her shower, just like always. But this time, something felt off, dizzy, a little too warm. She tried to steady herself, but slipped on the wet floor, hitting the tiles hard. Her leg twisted beneath her. Her hip shattered on impact. And there she stayed, alone, soaked, and unable to move for over 4 hours. No one heard her fall. No one checked in. The sun had already risen before her neighbor noticed her paper was still on the porch and rang the bell. By the time paramedics arrived, Beatrice was shivering, in shock, and dangerously close to hypothermia. Dr. Emily Rodriguez, a physician specializing in emergency geriatric trauma, explains, "Falls in the early morning are especially deadly because response times are slower, family members are still asleep, caregivers haven't arrived, and seniors, often too weak to move or call out, lie undetected, sometimes for hours. That golden hour after a fall, the window where fast treatment can mean full recovery, was long gone for Beatrice. Though she survived, she never regained full mobility. The tragedy wasn't just the fall, it was the timing, the isolation, the silence. So, what can you do to prevent this nightmare? Install a waterproof emergency call button in your shower area. These devices are inexpensive and life-saving. Schedule daily check-in calls or text messages with a friend, family member, or neighbor. Even a short "good morning" message can become your lifeline. Avoid showering during hours when no one is awake or reachable. Late morning is not only safer physiologically, it's safer logistically. Beatrice now showers at 11 a.m., right after her daughter's daily phone call. She keeps a panic button in reach, and most importantly, she no longer feels invisible. She told me, "What hurt the most wasn't the fall. It was realizing that no one even knew I was in danger." So ask yourself, if you fell at 5 a.m., how long would it take for someone to find you? Would it be within the hour, or would it be too late? You don't have to live in fear, you just have to plan ahead, because the best rescue is the one that never needs to happen. Franklin Moore was known for his sharp wit. At 79, the retired architect could still solve Sudoku puzzles in pen and recite poetry from memory. But on the morning of his accident, none of that brilliance was with him. It was 6 a.m. He turned on the water, stepped into the shower, and didn't notice that the temperature knob had shifted during the night. The water wasn't warm. It was scalding. Franklin didn't react quickly enough. By the time he realized, his back and arms were already burned. 1st degree in some places, 2nd degree in others. In the hospital, he kept repeating the same thing. If this had happened at noon, I would have caught it in seconds, but my brain, it wasn't online yet. That wasn't just regret talking, it was science. According to researchers at Stanford University, cognitive performance in seniors dips sharply between 4:00 and 8:05 a.m. During those hours, the brain's reaction time, judgment, and processing speed are at their lowest. Dr. Jonathan Miller, a neurologist specializing in circadian rhythm, explains, "In seniors, morning cognitive fog is real, and when you pair that with a high-risk environment like a wet bathroom, it's a setup for disaster. Even simple decisions like adjusting water temperature or catching yourself during a slip can be too much for a sluggish brain." Franklin's burn wasn't caused by faulty plumbing. It was caused by timing, by stepping into a dangerous situation before his mind was ready to protect him. So, here's what you must do to keep your mind and your body safe. Set your daily shower time between 10:00 a.m. and 2:00 p.m. That's when seniors typically experience their peak cognitive clarity. Install a shower timer with an alarm. This keeps you from lingering too long and helps ensure you're aware of how time and heat are affecting you. Use labeled or color-coded controls so you can visually verify temperature settings. Don't rely on muscle memory. Avoid multitasking or rushing during your routine. A calm mind makes safer decisions. Franklin now showers at 11:30 a.m. after his crossword puzzle and first cup of tea. He still burns through Sudoku puzzles, but not his skin. He told me, "I used to think my body was my biggest risk. Turns out it was my foggy brain." So, here's the final question. Are you stepping into the shower with your whole self, mind included? Or are you trusting half-awake instincts to protect you in the riskiest room in your house? Because safety isn't just about timing. It's about mental readiness. When my Uncle Charles died that morning, our family thought it was a freak accident, a fall, a slip, a heart problem no one saw coming. But it wasn't just one thing. It was everything. The time of day, the hot water, his medication schedule, no one around to help, a brain that wasn't fully awake yet. One seemingly harmless morning shower was actually a web of risks he didn't know he was walking into. He didn't die from neglect. He died from habit, from doing what he'd always done, without realizing his body had changed. So, here's what I ask you to remember. Shower between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. Drink water before you bathe. Avoid hot water. Install safety devices. Never shower immediately after meds. And never ever assume you're fine just because it's routine. Print this list. Stick it to your mirror. Share it with someone you love over 65. Because one simple change might not just save a fall, it could save your life. And that is a story I hope never gets told about you.